No. We're on live now. We're on live here. Good evening, Mike. Captain Mike.
Good evening. Good evening.
You guys see that empty spot there? That's because Mr. Stevenson is late to the party. We're going to get him in here. There he is.
Yeah.
Look at
Sorry,
that.
guys.
Took over the whole screen.
Look at that.
Sorry, guys. I was just getting off another podcast.
That's all right. And we'll get some people on here maybe and get going. But anyway, we're glad to have Captain Mike, the de-hooker guy, a human de-hooker tool. And you're in Florida, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Southwest Florida.
Wow. So we got Southwest Florida, Nebraska, and then somewhere up in the Great White North, Keith.
British Columbia.
And but I do want to say first though, Mike, we had a little tournament here last week at the doggy paddle. We had that going on. And there were several people that said they bought the de-hooker.
Cool. That's great to hear.
Yeah, right around here. And the other thing is, so I got to tell you guys a funny story. And we're going to bring Jake and Chad on, the finalists, here in just a moment. But I got a quick story. They tagged a bunch of bass in this lake we were fishing. And so I thought it'd be cool to give away maybe a couple gifts, prizes, if somebody catches a tagged fish, which I thought would be very remote. No. And by the way, I had like 26 drawing. You're in one of them, Captain Mike. One of them's your prize.
Cool.
And 10 people caught tagged fish.
Holy smokes. What are the odds?
So I told all the sponsors, hey, we're going to only do this for 20-inch fish. Well, I had the tagged fish in there. So I gave out 10 prizes. But guess what? The de-hooker is still alive. But we get a 20-inch fish. Or the other way that your prize gets given away is if somebody gets hooked with a hook, they not only get the hook removed with that tool, they get to keep it.
That's awesome.
Isn't that
that's
cool?
good.
So anyway, let's bring let's talk to Mike a little bit here, Keith, and we'll bring those guys on here. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, no, I just sorry for being late, guys. I was on another show there. But yeah, it's our final week of the Yakoffs, and it's been going awesome. So thought what a better time to bring on Mike from de-hooker, who is our presenting sponsor, our biggest sponsor of the whole thing that's been there through everything, and was the first guy that I pitched this whole project to. And to be honest, he said, what if it doesn't go? Yeah, but what if it does go well?
Exactly.
But I said, if it doesn't go well, I'll be nice to you on your next advertising campaign.
That is true. You did say that.
I did say that. I actually said that standing right there talking to you. But yeah, it's gone so well and everything's great. And obviously because I was just on another podcast right now about this in the finals, and it's been awesome. Like been so much fun.
It's really, really great to be a part of
I
it.
honestly don't know what I'm going to do next week because I don't have any podcasts to do. Like I'm going to hang out with my family.
I saw a picture of you working on a bathroom. I think that still needs to be finished.
All right, let's bring these guys in. Except, guess who's missing? Yeah, I'll get you in there. Hey, there he is. Okay. Welcome, Chad and Jake, and congratulations, the tactician and the wild. What is it? The wild what?
Wild card.
Wild card and the tactician. That's their nicknames Keith gave them, right? Or kayak angler?
I did. I gave them that. Yeah, I gave them that. And I think it's pretty fitting. We've got like Jake that just posted a video of almost falling off his kayak.
Oh wow.
Standing up. And then we've got Chad who like is dialed in on everything and serious. He's a tactician.
He is.
I'm just flying by the seat of my pants.
Yeah, but you always bring your dog in to all of the shows. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, Whoppy's got to be in there.
Right on.
I have seen Chad work on his stuff for hours during a tournament. Hours, literally hours.
Yeah, I am a little particular about my fishing stuff.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So first of all, congrats to both of you guys for making it to the finals. Like
Thank you.
crazy. This has been 15 weeks now almost. This is the
really,
15th week
I'm a
since
lot
we
more
started.
grayer.
Yeah. Like Marty's older than when we started,
Believe me,
but
I'm older.
so are all of us. But I want to start this off actually before we do anything else. You guys know there's a cash prize in this and a lot of other stuff that you don't know about that's going to happen. But to start this off, if you win, what are you going to do with your cash prize?
Oh, there we go.
And Chad, you're first.
Well, I mean, I really haven't thought a lot about it because every week I've kind of felt like this is probably my last week. And
You've
so
actually said that
I,
every week.
yeah, I know. And I mean, I still feel that way, but, I mean, I did think about it a little bit. And, I mean, if I were to win, obviously there's like that whole spotlight deal in the magazine. So there's a couple upgrades that I was thinking about making to my trailer, new tires and wheels. I mean, maybe some small upgrades to the kayak that I might spend a little bit of money on. But other than that, I mean, I tournament fish a lot, and this year has not been off to
Would you
quite
like
the
another
bank.
dog? Would
Yeah,
you like
no
another
more
dog?
dogs.
Kiss the other side of your face?
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, fishing expenses they add up quick, and I haven't had the banger start to the year like I have the last couple of years, so I'm a little behind on my winnings versus my expenditures. So, probably some of it'll just go to like fishing expenses and stuff.
Yeah, know the feeling. You know what, Chad? I've been three times first man out of a check this year already. 3 times.
Yeah.
Actually, actually, in Marty's own tournament, the doggy paddle this weekend, if he was contestant, he was also the first one out of money because he came in second place.
I did. I got second. I didn't count though. But I did get the little wooden paddle, but I don't get any other prizes because I put it on.
Yeah.
But that was fun. No, so I totally get it, Chad, on that. And then what about you, Jake?
I don't know. I've kind of been kicking around a couple ideas. So I've started looking at maybe doing a different motor. I still like the bow mounted option, but maybe finding something that can move me a little bit faster. I think I told you on the last show, I'm the guy that gets a check for like $5 and then spends 50. Gets a
Right.
check and spends. So I think it's the power pole move motor looks awesome from what I've seen from a lot of people that have it, but it is an expensive motor that I would need to find another how to pay for the rest of it. But also thinking about if I keep, and mostly because the motor guides just not being made anymore. So I don't want to get stuck with a motor with problems and not be able to get them taken care of. So that's kind of why I'm looking at motors. But the other thing is just upgrading one of the 9-inch screens that I have to a 12-inch, just to get a little bit bigger picture for the forward-facing sonar.
Well, I'll tell you guys both this. I know it's different maybe for you, Chad, because you're in the old town, but Newport is very interested in helping out whoever wins this
Wow.
with a new motor.
Wow.
No promises, but just letting you know.
I've always wondered what it would be like to put one of those on the back of the autopilot.
There you go.
You might need it'll go pretty fast then, Chad.
I
I'm not
know
trying to make.
that's probably one of the biggest complaints about the autopilot is just it's not very fast, but I have a feeling that would definitely speed it up.
You might keep up
For
with my
sure.
Outback. You might keep up with my Outback.
With you pedaling.
Yeah, I try to pedal with it. That's what I've got. I've got the NK 180 Pro, never used it yet.
How have you not used it yet?
Because I have an Outback and I got a Crescent. I got the other motor. I won the motor last year for Nebraska AOI, whatever. And then I put the motor on my Crescent, but I haven't used it yet because I
Oh,
want to use it on a river,
yeah.
on a river fish type thing. And so I don't have any idea how it's gonna work. We'll see. That looks like people like. I actually won the 300 and traded for the NK 180 Pro. They say that's a pretty good little motor. So what? So guys, think about this. Think back about 2 or 3 weeks. Did you see yourself here?
No.
I
I
mean,
mean, even from the very beginning, I mean, my first round was against Drew Gregory, and I just figured, I was looking at like how well known a lot of these people are. I kind of saw the path that I would end up taking, and Gene Jensen, and I mean, Seth, and all those guys have a greater following in general than I do. So I just
yeah.
saw it every week. I was a bit amazed that I made it through. So
You remember back when Gonzaga kind of entered the NCAA basketball thing and started getting great, and they were like the underdog. Everybody was pulling for them. You remind me of Gonzaga, Chad. like you're just that Gonzaga guy, and Jake's, I mean, both you guys, I mean, you both have great kayaks, there's no doubt. But you're right, those guys had such big followings. I would have never thought that it would, not to
I
put any.
actually, I actually remember 3 or 4 weeks ago, Marty and I talk all the time, and he's like, "No one's going to beat Gene Jensen ever."
Yeah, I mean, I
But
thought.
I remember one of the first rounds we ever had. We put it up, and there's like, "You watch out for Chad Davison. He's going to be a dark horse because he has things that people haven't seen, like your lure
Yeah,
retriever, like that stuff, right?"
well,
And then Jake's got. I have the same kayak right there, the 125, which
Yeah.
I love. And Jake's got all of the Vibe community behind him, and they're pumping it out. And yeah, it's been interesting to watch how it's kind of unfolded. To have people like Chad Hoover and Gene Jensen and Drew Gregory and like these massive followings not make it to the finals. It's awesome. Like it's the best thing, honestly, that I could have asked for because people are going to be like, yeah, we don't need a massive 700,000, 500,000 following to make it a potential to win.
but I want to ask
So
you guys this though. You guys made some incredible little videos. Did you know how to do that before this, or did you guys develop that skill while you were in this contest?
I've done a lot with videos. I don't do a lot of like long videos, like but I've always done them sometimes. But then some of the shorter videos, like the Instagram reels and stuff, that's kind of more the type of content that I've always
right.
made. Um, and I kind of just started just because it was fun to put together little clips of my trips and what I've got
Yeah.
going on. But it helps for putting some of the stuff together for this.
Yeah, like that one you made with the guy with the little music box or whatever. I mean, did you know how to do that before?
I
That
figured
was
some of that
hilarious.
stuff out like pretty recently. I mean, I've always I've been pretty active on Facebook and Instagram. I honestly don't spend as much time on it. I mean, I have ability to do some things that I just don't do with videos and all that kind of stuff. that just because I don't want to spend the time editing and making videos because I'm fishing so many tournaments. I just fish a lot of tournaments. So
Yeah.
I just don't enjoy the content creation as much as the fishing. So, but for this, I already had some experience doing the video editing, and then I figured out some stuff on the fly on how to be a little bit more creative with the videos. So, um, this contest has really help sharpen some of those skills.
You
And
know,
I think confidence too, right? Because you've moved forward so far.
Yeah.
I do want to say, last night I taught a kayak fishing class. It's a college class. They're not college kids; they're old. I mean, there's all kinds of people. It's like one of those adult college classes, And these were all people that had never caught a fish in a kayak. And guess what they started out in? Pedal kayaks.
Hmm.
But I did not allow them to put the drives in until they mastered their strokes. They couldn't. They were not. In fact, I had bobbers out there, and they had to retrieve a bobber by paddling to it, not leaning, and so forth. And then they got to use their drives. But you guys, there's people like that have never caught a fish in a kayak, and they get in these kayaks, and it's like, oh my gosh, look how fast I'm going, and effortless, and then the hands free for the fishing and so forth. So, I mean, you guys have taken it, of course, to another level with that. But just think of all the people that can watch this, or are watching, or will watch, and say, you know what, I want to get a kayak like theirs and be able to do that. And I got an idea, guys, and maybe this is everywhere. I don't know, but oh yeah, somebody said you got to get the basics down first, and that's true, especially for safety. I run an expo here in Auburn, Nebraska. You know that, Chad.
Yep.
What if we had a kayak fishing workshop where people bring their kayaks, and guys like how to put a lure retriever on. You bring the stuff for that and share, and they can purchase from you or whatever, whoever has products. Like if Mike was closer, he could say, okay, guys, I'm bringing the dehookers in. We'll put it on your kayak. But just think if we had like 20, 30 kayaks in that building, and then these guys are getting them built by other guys. You see what I mean? And then sharing the products, sharing the ideas. How cool is that?
It's definitely an idea.
Yeah. And this is what we're doing here, by the way, because you guys are sharing your ideas. People are seeing it. I wonder how many guys have made that lure retriever like you have, Chad. Or
Yeah,
Jake.
I think that's pretty unique thing a lot of people hadn't heard about. It was kind of some people knew about it in the bass boat world, but I'm the first person I've ever seen to put one in a kayak.
Yeah. So just those are the things that are coming out of this, I think, is that people, it opened my eyes to some things. I mean, I still take, like this morning, I took out a paddle kayak with 2 rods, a box of lures, a hole in the bottom of my kayak that leaks, and just went out and fished for 3 hours.
Is that because you didn't put the plug in again?
Yeah.
No, this kayak is about 10 years old, and it's a paddle kayak. It's a Jackson Kilroy. And I just take it. It's the one with the big cockpit in it. And it's easy to take down the hill and up the hill because, some of these kayaks, like Jake, could you take your kayak down a steep hill? No. So,
Yeah.
it's
You
whatever.
could.
You could.
never
Especially
get
in
back
Canada.
up.
In Canada, it's super easy. Just like, whew,
Yeah.
like a toboggan.
But
That
that's
could
what's
just
happened.
ride it down the hill.
Yeah.
Like the Guardian Angel light that's on here. I've got one of
Jake,
my
your first video was a snow video, so you could do it easy.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
So the Guardian Angel light, you put that on your kayak, and I love the ease of it. You take it on and off, and you can recharge it, and it works, and it can be seen for miles or whatever. Who I would have never known, probably, Mike, about the dehooker.
Yeah, about it.
I think that's I mean, the people that are out there now, kind of building their own
methods and experience that then see this and wonder how to get to that next level. That what you were saying, I think would be really, really cool for them to see how to up their game and all. That would be really, really cool.
Yeah, and the other thing is the safety part of this whole thing. Like I'll be honest. I mean, that when I left my plug out of my kayak, guys, that's a dangerous situation. And I was, you know how Truman is, Chad. I had bluff walls on each side of me, and
Yeah, I
here
know
I
where
am.
you're at. I actually was watching you that morning because we launched at the same ramp, and I saw your light. You were headed out in the
Yeah,
middle, and it's like
yeah,
probably a mile across there,
right,
and
right,
you were like halfway out there, and all of a sudden I see you like turn and like you're headed back the other way, and then you turned
yeah,
again, and I was
yeah.
like, what the heck is he doing? I thought maybe you're coming back and then turned again. I think that must have been when you figured out that you were taking on water.
Yeah, yeah. I was listing pretty bad. I was half full of water. I opened the hatch up and I go, "Oh man, I cracked my hole." And so, doing do you guys have a bilge pump in your kayak or a bilge,
No,
like a bilge device?
no,
You do you need one?
only if it leaks.
Only if you leave the
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, that would be actually a my kayak because it's big enough, heavy enough, and I've already got so much stuff wired in it. It wouldn't be that much more work to put in a bilge pump that you could maybe open up the hatch and just pull a tube out, and
Yeah.
the bilge pump would sit on the bottom, and you could have it switch so you could just flip a switch and it would start pumping.
Well, that's my
That's
and that's my point is that, like I look at Barry Davis's, you guys know Barry Davis? He's got an
yeah,
XTR fied. It's a boat. It's a boat, man. And that I mean that in a positive way. But if it takes on water, how do you save that boat? Because they don't, how many, that's what my question is. How many of these kayaks have bilge pumps on them or a bilge device? And I don't
probably
have a
probably
bailing
none.
device.
I mean,
Yeah.
some guys
Yeah.
keep a sponge, for that
Yeah.
purpose,
Yeah. I
but
have a
that
bailing
would
device. Yeah.
that would
But
be slow if you got
yeah.
a major leak.
Yeah. So here I am in the middle of a lake and sucking in water, and I'm a quarter mile from shore, from the nearest shore that I could get to, and then it's a 45-degree bank to even pull it on. Um, so these are, and I know I don't know if I'm going on a rabbit trail or not, but I just thought, you know, that's the next thing maybe we should consider safety wise is having some type of water get the water out of your boat tool.
Yeah, well, bass boats have the auto bilge pumps that just kick on whenever it
Right,
gets water. I
right.
mean, that's something. A lot of times you don't even realize you're taking on water until it starts to
No,
become
yeah,
a dire situation.
right.
You
You
could
you
maybe
start
rig something else up where you maybe you have a way to run the hose permanently, and then
mm,
you just have it wired where if you start taking on water, it starts pumping, and you know right away
mm,
that you're taking on water.
right because these
That's
kayaks are getting
that's
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
They're getting big. These kayaks are huge. Jake, go ahead, Jake.
was just other than forgetting to put the drain plug in, I don't really see how many opportunities there are for water to get into the hull, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
I agree.
is. I think there is because if you have your kayak on a cart and you're banging it around, I have cracked my kayak doing that.
Are you
Wow.
pulling
Yeah,
it parts?
Huh?
I mean, I think a
Are
lot of
you?
the time it's smaller leaks, but like for example, just this week, Trey Dawson, buddy of mine, um, he was taking on water pretty significantly, and I helped him figure out where it was coming from. Well, what it was what happens sometimes is the deck, right, where the front deck meets the base of the seat or the seat support,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
where you're standing all the time, it
Yeah.
stresses and cracks, and then if your water that's coming up through the scupper plugs or waves crashing over the front of the kayak or whatever, where you get water on the deck and you're standing there and that crack opens up and water is just pouring in the hull. And he took on quite a bit of water just from that.
That's an issue. So that's an issue in the kayak thing. So Keith, there you go. There's an idea for somebody out there. And then Tanya Allman, she said, does anyone carry a fire extinguisher? There you go, Chad, right on the back of your kayak, a big old extinguisher.
Yeah, I mean, starts to be a lot of stuff, but I mean, a fire. I mean, you have batteries, but I don't even know if a fire extinguisher is effective on a lithium battery. I mean, I think if those things go, it's like more of an explosion than a fire. But other than that, I don't know what would catch on fire.
I got it. Several years ago, I tried to mount a barbecue on my kayak. It didn't work. But if you're going to do barbecuing on your, that would have gone a long ways, Keith, if I'd have put the barbecue on my Outback.
Yeah, totally. Or if you put your plug in the back of it.
Yeah. While we're talking about safety devices, something that I've actually been seriously considering adding that I've never seen on a kayak is like a horn that's an electric horn that's like basically along the lines of what they have on like large ocean going vessels or like semi trucks. It's extremely loud. That way, if there's like a boat coming towards you, you can just press a switch and it's going to blast a really loud horn out. I mean, I keep a little air horn on the side of my seat for that purpose, but I mean, that's something else I've been kind of thinking about, but I just haven't found something that is exactly what I'm looking for yet.
I've got it on mine. My video that I did for this, I have the air horn. I don't have it on now, but I mean, I had the air horn. I had my wife come out and say, and she came up there and I startled her with it, because it's really loud. I have one on my kayak.
That sounds like just a handheld one.
It's like big. I don't have it here, but it's loud like a train. That's
what you need.
I can get it here in a second while you guys are talking.
Yeah. So let me butt in here for a second and get off of this.
Okay.
Fishing safety talk. Like, this is a Yakoff talk right now. This is the championship round. People want to hear Chad and Jake talk about this shit. What's going on? Let's go. Let's hear about your boat, like your boats. And we want to hear from Mike about his experience as the presenting sponsor. Let's hear what you guys want to say about your experience with the Yakoffs. And yeah, we could all sit here and talk fishing for hours.
Oh yeah,
but let's go.
The Yakoffs have been awesome. I mean, it's been a ton of fun. It's been really cool to see all the different kayaks that are out there, all the different guys that have incredible setups.
Except you never signed up for the newsletter.
I didn't even get your email last night that you sent me. I don't want to hear it.
I know. This morning we had a big talk about that, but yeah, it's fine. I got it signed up now, so we're good.
Okay. So, anyways, keep going. Now I lost all my momentum.
That's why I did it. I'm here to screw you up.
Appreciate that. But like Chad was saying earlier, like there's a lot of guys that are just big names in the industry, have huge followings, have incredible setups, have everything that you could possibly imagine could fit on a kayak some way or somehow. So to be able to compete with those guys and their setups has been pretty exciting. I think some of the things that have helped have just been having a kayak that's set up specifically for me. It's not necessarily everything in the world I could possibly put onto the kayak, but it's everything that is going to serve a purpose for me and to help me catch more fish and, help me compete in the tournaments that I like to fish in. It's set up for my style of fishing with the two screens and the forward facing sonar and the spot lock motor. Those are the big highlights for my kayak. Having those pieces of equipment have definitely helped me catch more fish. Being able to hold my position in windy conditions or rough conditions, and then fish offshore brush piles or anything else in deeper water. Being able to hold your spot in 20 feet of water without dropping an anchor down every time you want to move or hold your position has been awesome. But I've got a lot of like little things too. Like I set up my screens so that there's only a small gap in between them, so that I can set my net leaned up in between them, so that when I have a fish, I can the net quick and then scoop it up. Or I've got the Gear Keeper retractable tethers on my pliers, my phone, and catch board. And those are just like a little detail, a little thing that have been awesome for making sure I don't lose any of my stuff. Because I've lost a phone in the lake, I've lost pliers in the lake, haven't lost a catch board in the lake, but since I had the tether, I decided to strap one on there just to be safe, because I got the heavy catch board, the original. Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't actually lose my phone in the lake. I dropped it in Lake Okeechobee. I hopped into my kayak and felt it just slide out of my pocket as I got in, and I dug around with a net at the ramp for like 30 minutes, and then finally got it back. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the Yakoffs have been like for me. They've been a lot of fun. It's been cool to see everybody's setups. There's some stuff that I'll probably look a little closer at, and yeah.
And super cool that it's like you're the only Vibe kayak that's been in there.
Yeah.
And Chad is also the only Old Town that's been in there.
Yeah, I think when Don Trell, I think he went out in the first round, but
yeah, first round.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks to Jake.
Yeah.
So, well, I agree with a lot of what Jake said. And I mean, for me, the Old Town Autopilot is the first kayak that I really started fishing tournaments out of. When I jumped into kayak fishing out of the bass boat world, I mean, this is the exact same boat that I started in going on 5 years ago. So, I know the Old Town Autopilot has been a super popular kayak in general. And so there's probably a lot of people out there in Old Towns, and specifically the Autopilot, that can probably relate to some of the things that I've done to it. But for me, I've just had a lot of time to kind of fine tune my setup and keep adding things over the years and get it dialed in exactly the way I want it. And then I think there's a lot of things that I've done to it that are fairly unique, like that lure retriever. The fact that I pull it behind a camper, that's something that a lot of people seem to be interested in, and you don't see a lot of people doing that.
Yeah, and Chad, let me just butt in here. Honestly, like out of 16 people and like 16 anglers in the whole Yakoffs, the number one thing we've had any comments about was your lure retriever. So, which is crazy, because it's like how you drilled a hole in and had like the retractable.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious, because let me say one thing. What's hilarious is like Jeff and Paul from the Aggressively Average Anglers. They're going to be in the next Yakoffs, and there's a bunch of other people. They're now studying what you guys have done on this one, because it was the inaugural Yakoffs, and everyone's watching like Ethan Jett's matched up trailer, and they're like, you guys were like kind of the guinea pigs, honestly, about how to do this first one. But now everyone's studying what you guys did, because the pots are going to just get bigger, because brands are going to provide part of that cash prize. So things are going to go a little bit crazier, which is super fun to see. But it's those little things that people don't, that we never thought that wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, and some things I would say to the people who are thinking about entering future Yakoffs. I mean, so it's a lot of work, And it's like, we did the semifinals last week, and I was pushing really hard because I was up against Fluke Master, and then turned right around and didn't know until Monday morning what the outcome was, and then now all of a sudden I'm in the finals, and you got life going on, and you got other things happening, and so just be ready. But I think that'll be an advantage for people because we're kind of the pioneers, and we didn't really know what to expect, and we're trying to make it up as we go. And these guys will kind of have maybe some in the future. Contestants will have the advantage of maybe having a strategy going into it, and so I think it's just going to get more and more competitive, and like you said, the prizes are going to get bigger, and it's going to be cool to see.
And at 100%, what you just said, you didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what to expect. Like, I was like talking to Mike from D Hooker up there, our presenting sponsor, who is the main reason we were allowed to do this, and people believed in it. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have even started. So,
wow.
Well, for me, it's been an incredible, complete education. My background with fishing.
I would just wait one sec, Mike. I would love to hear from our conversation we had with me standing like literally right there on a Saturday morning, talking to you, and I was like, dude, this is what it's gonna cost. I hope it works out. If it doesn't, I'll be nice to you on your next advertising campaign.
Right.
And how has it gone? I would love to hear that. That's why we brought you on here tonight, because how did the Yakoffs go for a sponsor?
It's definitely been much bigger and much more than I expected, and a much bigger relief in general. It's to me personally, it has been an incredible education, but from a professional point of view and from being a sponsor, this was a complete home run for us. The way that it blew up, the amount of exposure, and in a niche that's so cool, and that segues me into my fishing world, which was up north in streams and rivers and john boats, to coming down south with small bay boats, and I have a skiff behind my house here that I run out into the Everglades. But this, for me, has been such an incredible education to see that this is possible. That's why, Marty, when you said about exposing people to how to do this stuff, like in my mind, my wheels are turning. Like I want to do this. This is really cool. So that it. From both sides of the Yakoffs, from a sponsor point of view, it was a complete success, and just a great all around exposure and fun to do and fun to watch and follow. But it also from a spectator point of view, from the people out there that we can't see right now, it blew me away. The things that I saw that I hadn't really known before, and the possibilities and the multitude of different directions you can go in, which is what you guys are pitching, your way of doing things with your kayaks. It's been fabulous from both ends for me.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really been cool. It's really amazing to watch and see, and from a novice perspective, having the opportunity to be in this and see every aspect of it, the parts that I learned as a fisherman and a novice kayak guy, that's been phenomenal. And that's why I think even going forward, as this expands, like Keith said, you guys were kind of the guinea pigs. Well, it's just going to blow up from there, and people are going to learn more and more and more. And it's really cool to see what you guys do and how you do it, and how each personality and each skill set does things a little different. It's really, really cool to see. And that to me has been a real thrill, because I've been amazed most of the time, because seeing something cool that somebody else does to you guys is like, wow, that's a neat alternative to me. A lot of it is new, and it's really, really cool for me to see how these kayaks have become just fishing machines. I mean, they're really, really cool.
And on that, Captain Mike, with Chad, Jake, I don't know. I know you very well, but I don't know how you do in tournaments and stuff. But I just know Chad from being in Missouri. Chad's always doing well in tournaments. Well, if you correlate his kayak with his success in the tournaments, you can see why. Now, he's also a very good angler. That's not that they take that away, because he fished in boats before this.
Right.
But wouldn't you say, Chad, that your kayak has enabled you to have the success you've had? Now, not going back to fishing here. We're just talking about the kayak, how it's helped you, the way it's set up.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I think there's a just like every person has their own style and personality, that your kayak is going to match that person's style and personality. So just because my kayak works for me doesn't mean it's going to work well for everybody. But for me, the way I like to fish, I take a lot of rods. I consider myself a pretty versatile angler. I can be comfortable doing a lot of different techniques, which means I take a lot of stuff. I take a lot of tackle. I take a lot of rods. And, my kayak is big. It has a good capacity to carry a lot of things. And it has a lot of, I'm a slow, methodical fisherman, and having the autopilot trolling motor, that thing is unmatched as far as the control that it gives you, and the ability to just work an area really efficiently. And so it just matches my style and my personality. Some people, that might like to launch at like remote backwaters that don't have a boat ramp and fish really skinny water, or somebody that likes to just move really fast, they may not like my kayak. But, you got to figure out what works for you. And I think people are going to look at this competition and look at everybody's rigs and pick out the things that work for them, and apply that to their own.
Isn't that the coolest thing about the Yakoffs? Like that's what I was trying to say. Like, and you said it much better, that each person's skill set, what kind of angler they are, how they like to navigate the water. People have an opportunity to see so many different rigs that may or may not fit them, and build around that for themselves. And that I think, that the Yakoffs is
tailor make it for themselves, right?
Yeah.
That's the uniqueness of it. Because in the bass boat world, basically they're all the same. They're just different brand names on them. They all do the same things, basically, don't they? And then
you still have how you set it up for yourself, but
right.
Yeah, but some boats are faster, but they're not quite as stable, and some boats, there's still differences between bass boats, but it's probably more pronounced in the kayak world, I would say. You're probably right.
Well,
100%.
If we put Drew Gregory in your boat, Chad, and we put you in his, how would your day go?
It would be a mess. I probably could do it, but I just wouldn't be comfortable, and probably same for him. He'd be frustrated. I fish a lot of like big open water and stuff. I'm not afraid to, like, in one of my videos that's on there, it shows me with this great big cigarette boat driving by me, and that's because I'm out in the middle of the main channel at Table Rock. And I would never do that in Drew Gregory's boat.
Right.
I feel comfortable doing it in mine just because it handles big water so well.
Wow. Jake, what about you? What if you were in Drew Gregory's boat and he was in yours?
I think I could maybe piece something together, but I'm pretty similar to Chad, where I like to have a ton of stuff with me, have a ton of rods with me, and fish big open water. So I'd definitely have a hard time getting around. But I was going to say, I think one of the things that kind of makes setting up a kayak so much different than a bass boat is there's so much less real estate to work with. Like if you really do, or if you want to do everything, then you need a certain kind of kayak to do everything. And I think I think the kayaks themselves suit the fishing styles of the anglers that are out there, and then you get to personalize those individual kayaks, and the personalization and the kayak selection makes it so different across the board for everybody that's out there.
So if you guys had to do it all over
So
again,
here's a question.
Okay.
Wait, Marty. Here's a question. So in a little less than 30 days, Kayakjak there, Marty, is coming up to the Pacific Northwest to fish with me off the coast of Vancouver Island for salmon and halibut.
Wow.
What do you guys out of kayaks? Marty, what are you thinking you're worried about? And what are you excited about? Here's a question that has nothing to do with the Yakoffs, but to do with kayak fishing.
That's a fair question. What I have the most anxiety about is the water temperature is 47 degrees and I don't want to fall in it.
Oh, it's way colder than
that.
Thanks for telling me that.
It was 23. It was 23 when I checked today.
Okay, my anxiety is a sea lion grabbing my catch and tipping me over. And that's my anxiety. My excitement is that
I would say, first of all, let me just say this.
Okay.
The sea lion, you have to, in a kayak, be more worried about it just grabbing you right in the face.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks.
Marty told me he has the heebie-jeebies, so this is fun for me.
Well, here's the deal, though, guys.
You handle alligator.
Matt, okay, Jake and Chad, let's go back 20 years. You take a trip to California and you meet Jim Salmons. You know who Jim Salmons is?
No.
If you look at one of my episodes,
you guys don't know Jim Salmons? I even know Jim Salmons.
Guys, he's the reason why you're here tonight.
Yeah. It
Serious.
was Marty Hughes, Jim Salmons, Chad Hoover, all
Dennis
different places.
Dennis Spike.
Yeah, Dennis.
D. Kaminsky. And by the way, you also here because of Captain Mike. I want to make that clear too, because the hooker.
Yeah.
But guys, so let's go back 20 years, and you take a trip to California, and you meet Jim Salmons, La Jolla Beach, and he takes the kayak off the truck over his head, and says, "Here," gives you the kayak, and you go out in the waves, 6 to 8 footers, and you're going against him with a paddle and a kayak and one rod, and he has the bait deal. And you go out you paddle 3 miles out in the ocean into the kelp in 140 foot of water. Would you have the heebie-jeebies?
I know.
I mean,
absolutely.
I hesitate to say this because I don't know. Yeah. I'm not a kayak purist. I came from the bass boat world, and I've been fishing out of a kayak for 5 years, and I jumped right into an autopilot, which a lot of people argue isn't even really a kayak. But, if I was kayak fishing in like the old paddle kayaks, I probably wouldn't still be kayak fishing. I'd probably still be fishing out of a bass boat, honestly. I mean, I like kayak fishing because of the way the rigs have gone. That's what's attractive to me. I mean, I like fishing out of a regular stereotypical kayak, like we got a lot of Ozark rivers here in Missouri and stuff that are like, your typical moving water Ozark streams and stuff that I like doing that, but float trips and stuff. But as far as tournament fishing, which is my main interest, like I'm not really interested in like old paddle kayaks and stuff.
I get it. Well, what I'm still saying though is that,
like I wouldn't go in the ocean.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So what I want to say though is also I did not have the heebie-jeebies. I just went out and did it, and it was great. So that's what I'm doing in Canada. You just go out and you do it. And by the way, Chad, I have crossed Table Rock Lake when it was 20 feet high that one year, and it was 100 and some feet below me and Nate Glory going across that thing with boats, and it was kind of glassy water that day. But I was like, Nate, this is like weird, because it doesn't matter how deep the water is, it's still water. But when you're going over 120 foot of water on a lake, you're going, man, that's a long way down there.
Yeah.
Marty, we're gonna be fishing in like deep water. You're gonna be more
Oh
than
my,
the heebie-jeebies.
oh my
So
God.
you guys aren't going to be fishing. You're not going to have trolling motors on your kayaks.
No.
I might give him a paddle. I'm not sure yet.
I'll have a pet sea line for propulsion.
Yeah.
I
No,
should
those
say
ones you don't want to see.
I said that, but honestly, if I had the opportunity to take that trip, I'd totally do it. I'd be a little
You
freaked out,
Well,
but I would totally do it.
I'm so grateful.
I did it last year. It's insane. It's beautiful. It's halibut, salmon. The opportunity to pull a 200-pound halibut barn door over your kayak. It's insane.
Wow.
Catching
So
30-pound Chinook that pull you for 20 minutes on your kayak.
Wow.
Best thing ever.
Your kayak is the
can't
drag.
wait. Can't wait. Can't
It's a
wait.
sleigh ride.
Are we gonna have a
That's all
de-hooker
it is.
tool with us just in case too? Because them hooks are big.
Better.
So okay, let me ask you this.
Sweetie,
I wanna
Captain Mike.
I gotta ask Captain Mike a question. What's the largest hook you've seen removed with your tool?
A 9
Probably
aught.
one he put in his own hand.
Well, that's very accurate. I stuck
I do nothing except be accurate.
I did a 9 aught tarpon hook in my leg, and I've put the tool on bigger hooks up to 4x diameter, but there comes a point where like I don't want to get into pulling harpoons out.
Right.
You know, I mean, or gaff hooks is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
So, you know, probably a big 9-aught. I had a 10-aught in me, but I didn't video that one. So the one that I have proof of is a 9-aught tarpon hook. That's the biggest one.
How do you
And
put
that's
a
a pretty
That's a hook that big, and then just do the video.
Well, when you spend enough money like I did doing all this stuff, and no one steps up to say, I'll do proof of concept for you, you become the guy.
So Mike, that wasn't an accidental hook. That was like you were showing off your tool, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to wait for all those opportunities, that would have been ridiculous, and I would be, a horrible angler. Not that accidents don't happen, but I mean to collect that many hook removers
on one person
in that amount of time from one person is a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I spread them out a little bit. But when I first brought the tool out, I like the metrics on between the hook on the tool and the head. They all had to be tested. So I was doing it from the first prototypes up to get a range of hooks that fit into sport fishing, and it'll go from size 1 up to 9-aught easily. So anything over, I had it on a 10-aught, but I didn't pull it out. I just put it on to test it, but I always say it'll go from size 1 to 9-aught.
Wow. So I was going to ask you guys too, do you guys have a video on YouTube with the walk around of your kayak? You do?
A video with what?
A walk around of your kayak.
So
yeah.
Marty, Chad updated one.
Okay.
For the championship round. Jake hasn't yet. But we can watch Chad's.
Okay.
Yeah, well, so just so everybody who's watching this, if they haven't seen my video, they know kind of how I do it, because I might be kind of counterintuitive, but I've kind of added to it every round. There's a complete walkthrough that's about maybe 10 minutes, and it's like the last 10 minutes of the video. And then every week I'm like adding to the front. So like when you start the video, that's like the newest. And I do have an update that's not on there yet.
Which part? Should I play it?
So what you're looking at right now, that's my intro from the semifinals, which was last week. I sent them the yeah, the new in
Do you want me to
but I
play
have
this certain part today, or
um you know
I can? But I had okay.
yeah,
I'll find that. I'll find that while this is okay. I'll find it and then you guys keep talking.
yeah.
What's your name on
So
Instagram, Chad?
I'm Chad A. Davison
I
on
have no idea how
Instagram.
to find anybody on there. I've never hardly been on here. Chad.
It's just Chad A. Davison, all one word.
There it is. Is it the last one right here? Okay, so
Well, there's one that's got me talking. That's probably the one that was posted today.
all right, I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna take this out, remove from scene, and then
Mhm.
1 second. Exit screen share, and then add screen, and then Instagram. Here we go. Okay, here we go. I don't know if they'll be able to hear it. Will they be able to hear it? Let's see here.
Gotten from friends, family, fellow anglers, teammates, and fans of my kayak setup. Thank you all so much. We have come this far, and I need your votes one more time to close this deal out and become the first ever Yakoff champion. You can vote daily, and I will need every vote, as I am sure this will be a close contest. Plus, the more times you vote, the more chances you have to win some great prizes, including a complete motorized kayak setup. Hey guys, Chad Davison here, and this is the championship round.
Cool. Okay, and Jake has one too. Jake, you have one?
Yeah.
Jake. Jake, what?
That's Suvak kayak fishing. Oh,
Oh, Suvak kayak fishing.
yeah. It's right
Oh, I'd love to.
Hey, that's cool. Oh, the smell of that. That's pretty cool, man.
That is cool.
Pretty cool. All right. Wow.
Uh,
Well, I'll tell you, I
Well, you're kind of seeing some good stuff here, I think. But What? So, if you guys could add one more thing right now that you don't have, what would it be?
Like something to add to the kayak.
Yeah, what would you add that's going to make it more efficient? Is it good? What money does not matter. Are you online here with us, Keith?
Yeah.
I didn't ever add you. That's why.
You keep cutting me off.
Yeah, because you were late.
I'm just the voice in the background. Wow, oh, okay, gotcha.
I got you. Okay, so there you go. The money doesn't matter. Captain Mike's going to sponsor you for for what this item that you were going to put on there. Of course, Chad probably have a retractable dehooker. So, cost does not matter. You can add whatever you want to your kayak. What is it going to be?
That's tough.
I mean, but for me, it would be between two things.
No, you get one.
Well, I definitely like the idea of putting a bigger motor on the back. So like what you were talking about earlier with the Newport,
Yeah.
I mean, that's intriguing to me. It's something that I would at least like to try to see how it would perform. But also, I'm at the point where I'm ready to upgrade my electronics. Humminbird has come out with the new Explorer units, and that's something else that I'm looking at in the near future. So one of those two things.
Okay. Jake?
It'd probably be a stern motor just to get some extra speed.
Okay.
Like I love my motor guide. You know, I love all the. I'll take the bow mounted motor guide over a stern mount, because I like the trade off of having the spot lock and the GPS function of it. But if I could go dual motor and have a stern mounted motor just to get from point A to point B a little faster, I think that's the way I'd go.
Nice. Now, I do want to say this.
I thought they were both going to say like a backseat in my kayak to Keith for a ride.
Huh.
Yeah.
You know what's really cool is when I have these kids come in and fish our youth stuff. They come in and they modify their kayaks, and they have their little crate and they've got the PVC tubing stuff we did, 20, 25 years ago. But these guys take a lot of pride. But they're going to get on YouTube and see your stuff, and then
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see how they progress. Where will this be in 5 years? Let's say,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I look at, you guys have seen it. I think you guys saw that where I put a solar light for a stern light on a kayak, and I thought that was like the best thing ever, 20 years ago. But now it's like all this new stuff. But where are we going to be in 5 years, you guys?
I think there's going to be miniature bass boats. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's just going to keep getting closer and closer and closer to being a bass boat, non-boat.
People are going to keep selling whatever they can build and sell, and it's going to happen.
Yeah. But I will tell you, you guys, when I fished that doggy paddle Saturday and we had no motors, no pedals, no sonar, it was the most relaxing tournament I've ever been in. No kidding.
I went fishing this morning, and so Vibe's got the inflatable pedal drive, the Uptown 100, and I've started taking that out once in a while to a pond up the street when I got a couple hours to kill. And I went out with one rod, and I parked and was on the water in 2 trips to the ramp. Like you get these. I mean, I love my sheer water and everything on it, and that'll be my number one go-to kayak forever. But to go out there this morning, I was out there for 2 hours, no sonar, nothing. I had my pedal drive, and all I had was one rod. And that's the first time I've done that since 10 years.
I've been Uptown 100 right there.
There you go. And how did that feel, Jake? How did you feel?
Oh, it was awesome. It was so relaxing. Just got to chill. I mean, I didn't have to worry about like changing lure. Like I literally brought nothing with me other than a rod with a buzz bait on it and then a couple extra trailers.
Yeah, same here. I caught 30 bass in 2.5 hours in a paddle kayak, two rods. One was a chatterbait, one was a wacky rig on there, and went in the trees, no wind, glass water, and just enjoyed it, and do you find yourself though, like, how your brain is like I kept trying to go steer my Hobie or I was trying to hit my pedals because I'm so used to that. The motor memory in them. That's what
yeah. Like I start reaching for my my motor guide remote.
Yeah.
It's not there.
So those are the things that we're so used to. But would you guys agree it is a good thing to go back and just go back to basics sometimes? And just paddle, or Chad, I'm sorry, you haven't paddled before.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I have been in a paddle kayak. I don't enjoy it that much, but I mean, it's fun when you're out there and, if you're on a small body of water, it's not a windy day and, you can just paddle around and fish leisurely. I mean, that's fun, but, on bigger bodies of water, if it's windy, if,
Chad,
it's real rough.
You're supposed to just say yes right now because that's going to get you more votes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
I got it.
I love it. I love everything.
And no matter what kind of boat you have with it's got all bells and whistles or not. I had a 70-year-old lady last night that was one of my students. Never been in a kayak before. Never even been in a kayak. And she could care less about catching a fish. She just wanted to be in the kayak. And then she caught one and she felt bad for it.
I mean, it may cost me votes,
and then she bunked it.
But I'm going to disagree with you, Keith, because this is the Yakoff Awards for the best rigged out kayak. And we saw some guys that had just basic no frills kayaks and they went out in the first round. I mean, the guys that got to the very end have the latest, most rigged out, every type of thing you can add to it. And I mean, I think that's what the people who are like voting right now, that's what they're interested in. So, I mean,
I'm just saying, don't close your audience.
Sure.
Open up to everybody. Your list is longer than I think everybody has.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Keith. I'll update my video tomorrow, and it's going to be talking about how I can put the different pods in the shear water to be a paddle kayak.
Don't tell us. Don't tell us till you do it.
Don't talk about it. I'll do that tomorrow.
What
we just need it's. I mean, you guys can do whatever you want, but there's money on the line. Different prize on the line. There may be a trailer on the line. There might be a lot of stuff on the line you don't know about yet. So you guys got to put in your effort. The better you do, the more advantage that we get from this, the better we can put into the next one.
There you go.
So put in your effort.
All right, here we go. Chad, what do you have on your kayak that you think is better than what Jake has on his kayak?
Oh, well, I hesitate to say anything's better. It's like personal preference, but
okay.
Okay, politician. Okay, no more politician. Let's go. It's the championship round. It's the championship round. No more politician.
So, I mean, one aspect of my boat that I think...
Chad, just 1 second. I'm Canadian. This is what we do. There's no more politician stuff. You have to bash him. He has to bash you. Let's go. It's the finals. Go.
Well, I don't think there's a better trolling motor for a kayak than the setup for the autopilot. Having the motor mounted where it's at, which is basically like in the front, but it's not right on the bow. It's, back a couple feet and it goes through the hull. that gives you the best control, I feel like. And Minn Kota's had the original spot lock trolling motor with the Ultrex, which is basically the motor that's on the autopilot. And I mean, I think that setup, as far as a trolling motor, is the best. If you get it fouled, you can just pull the motor up and you can easily reach the prop. If you get line in it or whatever, it's easy to service. And so, I mean, I don't think there's a better trolling motor setup than what I've got in the autopilot. So that's one thing.
I was going to say the exact opposite. I was going to go and say that having the motor further forward on the bow is a better setup, because I think the motor pulled back a little further into the hull is something that would just kind of get in the way. I love where the motor guide mounts. I love that it's up front, out of the way. I don't have to worry about my rod tip hitting it. Like if I'm throwing a jerk bait or something, I feel like that motor would just get in the way, sticking up that close to me.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, I mean, as far as things getting in the way, I think having those two graphs mounted right in the middle, right in front of you, that to me, because I've tried that and it just doesn't work for me. I like having the cockpit open where I have room to move around. And I mean, I actually like kneel down in the kayak to measure my fish sideways on the floor of the kayak. And you can't do that when you got two big graphs right there mounted right in front of you. So I like having mine on the side on the ram ball mount. And I mean, granted, I only have one graph, but you know, that setup works for me, and I like keeping the cockpit open.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, but the two graphs that I do have, they're very low. Like they are so out of the way. I don't go long ways with the catch board when I measure it. I'll put it down right in front of me. So the graphs are never in the way because that captain's bridge keeps them so low to the deck.
See it there. You can see it there. You can see it there in the left picture. Oh. Yeah, I can see the graphs there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So good answers, guys. All right, we're getting near the end here, Keith.
Chad, do you not have a kayak cushion?
So I do have one. I won one in a contest not too long ago. I haven't put it in there yet. I pretty much stand up. When I'm fishing, probably 99% of the time I'm standing. Anytime I'm casting and moving around, even when I'm moving between spots, a lot of times I just stand up. It's just what I'm used to. But when I do sit down, I've got my seat raised up. I've got those seat risers from Navarre kayak fishing to raise the seat up a couple inches. And then you can probably see on there, I've got this giant, like really thick cushion that I bought on Amazon. It's just like basically a booster seat for me because I'm kind of a short guy. And I like having that big cushion on there that just raises me up. I like being up high. And that's something I can do because the autopilot is such a stable fishing platform. I don't think there's a more stable kayak out there. And so I don't worry about, being up high, being raised up. Like I said, I'm standing up most of the time anyway. So,
wow.
I mean, contest aside, the kayak cushion is so amazing. It's so comfortable.
Yeah,
I was going to say that was a long answer for a kayak cushion question.
Yes, in my kayak, I use two kayak cushions. I sit on two of them because.
So I'll tell you guys this right now. You don't know this, or maybe you do already, but there's a Yakoff champion kayak cushion being made for one of the two of you.
Nice.
It's black, and it's got the Yakoff champion logo on it. Whoever wins is getting one from Brandon at Kayak Cushion sent to you. There's also something else really cool coming, even cooler than the money you're going to get. But, yeah, this is going to be pretty sweet. You're going to it's going to blow your mind. And one question, either of you going to be at ICAST or no?
Yes.
I don't have any plans to.
Well, then I hope Jake wins. No, I'm just kidding. I I think if
That's what I was looking for all night. We can end the show.
Yeah. No. I just mean, I'm just kidding. But we have something being built for the Yakoff champion. That's going to be very cool. And I'll be at ICAST. I hope I can present it at ICAST. If I can't, then it won't matter. But it'll be cooler at ICAST.
Wow. All right.
So how does that? I've never been to ICAST. Don't you have to have like an invitation to?
Just put in your effort. If you are the Yakoff champion, you're invited to ICAST.
That'd be sweet.
And you all have to stop at the D-Hooker booth.
There you go.
Kayak Angler will sponsor you to be in there. And so you know, the D-Hooker booth is going to be... So I met Mike at the D-Hooker booth last year. The D-Hooker booth is going to be way bigger this year with some cool new stuff to show people.
Yep. Wow. We got some
Mike,
stuff
take the floor. Take the floor.
We got some new stuff brewing. There's some variations and changes to the tool size and style that I think is going to be really cool for everyone. It's going to encompass more of the whole gambit of sport fishing, save the big offshore stuff. But there's going to be a wider variety of applications for the new versions that I've got cooking, and I'm staring at them. I'm very tempted to pick them up and show you right now.
No, we talked about this earlier. Not yet.
Wow.
No, I'm not. But I think they're
very cool.
Really good. They're cool, yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
No,
so they'll be at ICAST.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I do want to say something about you guys out there watching, and also those that will be watching this here as it's taped. You vote, you can win this $3,400 package, the Hoodoo kayak, the Newport battery, the motor, the cart, and a Guardian Angel light kit. Guys, the Hoodoo kayak, the picture does not do it justice. Yeah. It looks like it's small.
And Marty, there's only 4 days left before we're done.
Yeah, you got to vote, guys. But that kayak, well, I have one. I have the Fin Drive Hoodoo 120 Impulse.
Yep.
And it's nice. It's nice. It's got a lot of room in it, and it's built like a tank. But I'm not saying it weighs like a tank. I'm saying it's built very durable, and I really like it. That's use it. So that's a great package. But if somebody gets that, they'd be the next Chad Davison and Jake Suvak right there. Just all inclusive right there. And so
we might even be able to get them to sign your kayak.
There you go. Awesome. So anyway, let's we're gonna get these guys up here. Here you go, Keith. Oh, what'd I do with him? Goodbye.
You just erased Chad.
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
I'm moving around. It's kind of fun to play with these.
Oh, you mean for the?
Yeah. We're gonna.
Yeah.
Jake,
we need the. We need the fisticuffs, guys. It's the championship round.
Where do these show up at? Because I never seen them.
You don't need to see them until I show you someday.
You just keep them.
Hurry up! I'm holding it. Let's go, fisticuffs.
Chad's ready, man. Look at that.
Chad, you got it. Right arm down, Chad. Left arm up.
There you go. Oh man. Left arm a little higher, Chad. Left arm a little higher. There you go. Look at that.
Jake always looks like he's gonna kick the shit out of everybody.
That's what Chad looks like when people want to change the keys right there.
But you want it, right?
He's like that. I already got it.
All right.
I don't know. Jake's got some pipes on him, Chad.
Yeah. I'm glad this isn't like a real fight.
Keep me in Missouri.
I can do the social media battle, but I don't want a fist fight.
Hey, Jordan Rhodes
All
has a
right.
great question, real quick. What's the longest distance you would go in a kayak to get to a spot? Paddle, pedal, or motor?
I think 5 miles was the furthest I've gone.
Yeah, I've done. I mean, I don't know about one particular spot, but I've done at least 12 miles in a day before.
Mhm.
Is that
I
round
think I
trip?
could do a little more. Yeah, round trip, 12 miles, and maybe a little more, but I know at least 12. So I mean, yeah, you could do 5 miles. I mean, the worst part for me is it goes just under 4 miles an hour. So I mean, it's just the time. You're just eating up time. It's not really. I mean, I'm not worried about my battery capacity as much as I am just wasting an hour and a half trying to get to a spot or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time I fished Lake Okeechobee, and the ramps are so spread out on that lake. And I launched, and I was trying to go to this one area where that I knew had grass, but it was a 5-mile trip just to get there. So I got there, fished all day, and then went back. I think that was the longest for one spot that I've ever gone. But I think 18 miles is the most I've done total round trip in one day.
Uh-huh. Nice.
You know what I think is super cool about all of this is when we branch out to doing things beyond bass fishing. Like, I don't need to go 100 yards from where I launch.
Yeah.
Like, and I can catch a 30-pound bull trout or a 18-pound rainbow trout, or go to the places where we can catch bass. It's a long drive, but you're still like right there. Like, there's no traveling involved. It's so different.
I would love that. I would love that.
We just have no competition because our population isn't there, right?
Yeah. You're right. All right. Well, any last comment?
Anyway, my last comment of this whole thing is for sure. Thank you so much to D Hooker and Captain Mike because this is our last one, for sponsoring the Yakoffs, for believing in me and my idea and making this happen.
It's been awesome.
Thanks to Chad and to Jake to making it to the end, and like all the effort you guys have put in and everything. But also 1,000% that we never expected, we never anticipated until that week before with the 16 anglers, when Marty Kayakjak offered to, like, I have a podcast, I'll host it every week. And this guy has been from freaking his house to Dairy Queen, eating dilly bars, doing everything. He has hosted everyone and put in, and it's a lot more effort than you guys know to put, and all of the fans out there and everything to put this in. So kudos, 1,000% to Marty. I love you. It's been so much awesome to meet you virtually, but I'm super excited to meet you next month, really in person, and we're actually sharing a hotel room.
That could
We're
be
going to share a hotel room, so. But Marty,
should we face each other right now with your fists up? Should we do that with you?
I just mean, maybe after we share the hotel room, we'll do a fisticuffs. But honestly, like, thank you so much to Marty and Kayakjak for doing everything. Also, I met Mike from D Hooker last year at ICAST, and after this year at ICAST, I'm staying for a little while longer, and I'm going to go down to Marco Island and go fishing with this guy.
Yep.
And there will probably be a purposely hook by accident thing happen, but we'll
accident
see.
On purpose?
Yeah. Accident on purpose. That's exactly what my wife said when we got married.
Yeah. No, it's been enjoyable. And I want to say thank you to Captain Mike and all the sponsors that have made this thing happen. You guys, Chad and Jake, I've seen you guys grow as, like, not only anglers, but as people representing the sport out there, being good ambassadors for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
People are looking up to you. You're a class act, both of you, and you've done nothing. You've done so much to make this so much better than what it could have been. You know, I who knows? It just all come together, and it's been a lot of fun. I've had more fun with this than tournaments.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been awesome. And thank you guys so much. And you have like 5 days left each before you could be the inaugural Yakoff champion for the first one ever. Put some effort in and let's see what happens. It's going to be cool. And you're going to want to see what we have in store for the champ.
I'll bet. Hey, thank you guys for all the work that you put into this. This was a ton of fun. And I think I, along with a lot of the other guys, were just kind of like, let's do it and see what happens, just like you were. And
yeah, man. And at the same time, I would love to throw this out there that anybody that's watching or following along for the next round, we're going to start another one in September. And we're going to do a spring and a fall Yakoff every year now with different themes. But any advice, anything that was exciting, anything that was boring, like just don't be shy and throw it out there. And let's make it super cool, because I think it was a really good way to bring people together and make the kayaking community even closer than it already was.
Yeah, I think you got to bring back the champion from the previous bracket each round to defend the title.
You have to, and that will be 100% happening. But that's up to you two, there. That's up to you two to see what's going to happen. So,
wow.
Well,
good luck,
guys. Hey, real quick, I just want to say too, and I'm sure Jake feels the same way, but the only reason we're here is because of all the people that have been voting for us. There's been so many people that have been supporting me like every round, and they're voting every day. And I feel bad sometimes because I'm just continually asking for votes, and it's like but I mean, that's what it takes. You gotta have those people supporting you. And, so thank you to everybody who's voted to get me here. And thank you to Kayak Angler Magazine, Keith, Marty, Captain Mike, and all the sponsors and everybody who's put this together. It's really well done. All of the website and everything has been, it's top notch, and I've been proud to be a part of it.
Thanks, man. And it's just going to get better.
All set.
And I look forward to getting advice from everyone to make it better and make it an educational piece for everybody that kayak fishes. That's all.
Yeah, it really has been too. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Cool.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
Thanks.
Good luck, guys.
Good night.
All right. We're going to end it.